But we have understood this one, no?
I understood.
Okay. Next.
79th one.
Okay. Small spherical ball. It is going in a loop like this. Mass m, rolling down a loop track, rolling down. Ball is released on the linear portion. Where is the linear portion? Okay. Linear portion, straight line. At a vertical height h. Vertical height h from the lowest position. The circular part shown has a radius r. Okay. Find the kinetic energy of the ball when it is at a point A where the radius makes an angle theta with the horizontal. Point A. Find the kinetic energy of the ball when it is at a point A, right? And then find the radial and tangential accelerations of the center when the ball is at A. Okay. Find the normal and frictional force acting on the ball if values are given. Okay. Fine. Kinetic energy at point A. Okay, so kinetic energy at point A is just an work energy theorem. So you can do work done by gravity plus no work is done by normal force, right? There's no other force only. Gravity and normal force are the only forces. Is equal to change in kinetic energy of the body, right? This is work energy theorem. Work done by all forces is change in kinetic energy of the body. So work done by gravity is easy to find from here to here. Okay. Change in kinetic energy will be kinetic energy final. So that is at A minus kinetic energy initial. So that is at this point, right?
Yeah.
The ball of mass m is rolling with some speed, right? It is released. Oh, it is released. So it is 0. Right?
Yeah.
It is 0. So there is no issue only. So you just have to find work done by gravity, no? That is equal to kinetic energy at A.
Yeah.
So work done by gravity is basically going to be the change in height between this level and this level, mgh. Right? Because gravity is conservative force. So your only final and initial point, the difference matters. It doesn't matter how you have gone.
Okay, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Work done by gravity can be written minus del u gravity. So that is u initial gravity minus u final gravity. Potential energy. So that is going to be just the height difference, right? So this height is r plus r sine theta. Can you see r plus r sine theta? And this is total h. So change in height is h minus this, right? Work done by gravity is positive because it has come down. So it will be mg into h minus r 1 plus sine theta, right?
Yeah.
That is equal to kinetic energy of the particle at A. Okay.
Yeah.
So 79A, check once.
It's correct.
Right? That is A. Then part B. Find the radial and tangential acceleration of the center when the ball is at A. Right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Radial, tangential acceleration is basically dv by dt. And radial acceleration is v square by r. Right? We have to find these things. Right?
Yeah.
So, now, the thing is, does it keep rolling at this point is the question for me. If it keeps rolling, then question is super easy. Kinetic and if it is rolling right throughout, right? If it is rolling throughout, kinetic energy during rolling will be due to two parts: half mv square plus half I omega square, right? And it is a small spherical ball, right? Rolling down the loop track. Small spherical ball. That means radius is negligible, no? You understand?
Yeah.
Then Okay. So even if it is negligible, we can still say it is 2 by 5 mr square omega square, right?
Hmm.
So it will be 1 by 5 plus 1 by 2 and r square omega square will be v square,
Yes,
right?
sir. Huh.
And basically you will be able to write it as 1 by 5 plus 1 by 7 by 10, I think. 5
Hmm.
by 10 and 2 by 10. 7 by 10 mv square, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So if I use that one, I will get an expression for v that will have 10 by 7 and stuff, right?
Huh.
Correct?
Yeah.
So let's just use that one and see if it comes. So basically, 10, let's put half mv square as that, so you'll get an expression for v, no?
Hmm.
And from there you can get dv by dt and you can get v square by r also.
Okay.
Understand?
Uh-huh.
Like put it in this one. So 7 by 10 mv square is equal to mg h minus r sine theta. So m cancels.
Hmm.
We get v square is equal to 10 g by 7 h minus r sine theta. So radial acceleration is v square by r. So radial acceleration is simply 10 g by 7 r.
Hmm.
H minus r sine theta, right?
Hmm.
So this can be written as 10 g by 7 h by r minus 1 minus sine theta.
Hmm.
And tangential acceleration, right?
Yeah.
Tangential acceleration will be dv by dt,
Huh.
right?
Hmm.
Okay. So we can say if you differentiate this,
Hmm.
you will get 2v dv by dt
Hmm. Yeah.
is equal to, this will be 0, this will be 0, this last term will come. So that will be minus 10 g r by 7 cos theta d theta by dt, right?
Hmm.
And r into d theta by dt is r omega, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
That will cancel one of the v, right?
Yes. Okay.
So
Yeah.
2 will cancel and it will become dv by dt is minus 5g by 7 cos theta.
Hmm.
You understand?
Yeah. Okay. Hmm.
So actually, this is coming from this kinetic energy term only, second part.
Huh.
And if you look at chapter number 8, right?
Hmm.
Rotational work power energy. This
Hmm.
is similar to question number, the last question in chapter 8. So work power energy, if you turn over to that, if you see last question in that chapter, so that is question number 64.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah.
Question number 64,
Hmm.
not 64 actually, 63. It is similar to question number 63. You should try these last 5-10 questions in work per energy.
Okay.
So in 63 also, he first finds kinetic energy and then gets dv by dt or tangential acceleration by just differentiating that.
Okay.
That is what he's doing here again.
Acha.
So dv by dt and both acceleration towards the center, both of the answers have come. Okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
Then last part is find the normal and frictional force if h is this is this, theta is 0. So this is easy. You just draw free body diagram, right? See, theta is 0, then you know kinetic energy at that moment, no?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
So theta is 0, this is 0, right?
Yeah.
So mg h minus r is kinetic energy. It is at this moment here.
Hmm.
So if it is at this portion of the track, normal force is like this, gravity is like this, acceleration towards center will be some v square by r, right?
Hmm.
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
And just do free body diagram. Friction will be there.
Up.
Friction will be up or something,
Huh.
right? So,
Okay.
and it's dv by dt also you can find, no? When theta is 0, dv by dt is minus 5g by 7, no?
Huh.
Correct?
Yeah.
So from part B and part A, you can put theta is 0 and see what is coming and draw free body diagram and get all the forces, no?
Okay. Yeah.
By Newton's laws.
Hmm.
So you can do it now.
Okay.
You understand?
I got it now.
Okay. Next one.
86.
85 is done. 85 also is similar only.
It's similar. So.
85, 86.
Huh.
85 is there's a ball like this. A solid sphere is set into motion on a rough horizontal surface with linear speed v. Linear speed is v, rough surface. Okay. And an angular speed in the anti-clockwise direction. Angular speed is given this much, like this. Okay. Find the linear speed of the sphere when it stops rotating. First, linear speed of sphere when omega is 0. Sphere when stops rotating means omega is 0, right?
Yeah.
And second part is B, linear speed when slipping stops and pure rolling starts. Pure rolling starts. That time, what is the linear speed? VCM.
Yeah.
Okay. The question can be done in two ways. There is a force method, there is an angular momentum conservation method. Okay.
Okay.
So we will do it by both. This is V by R. Okay. So first let's do it by angular momentum conservation. Now think about this situation right now, initial, right? Now clearly the bottommost point is going ahead, right?
Yeah.
The speeds are being added, no? V plus omega R, right? Bottommost point has actually speed of 2V.
Yeah.
Right? So friction will act backward, no?
Yes.
Friction is acting on the bottommost point. So therefore, you cannot say that angular momentum will be conserved about any other point other than this point.
Okay.
See, any other point if you take, no, center, right? There is torque due to friction.
Friction, yeah.
So torque is there due to friction, so angular momentum cannot be conserved about center, right?
Yeah.
But if you take axis through this point, like this, then the torque is 0 through this, right?
Yeah.
Then there is 0 torque on the ball due to this. Now angular momentum can be conserved, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So lowermost point, we are going to conserve angular momentum, right? And we are going to say initial angular momentum is equal to, now this is a rotating plus translating body, right?
Yeah.
So angular momentum about this axis can be done by thinking of it as two parts, right? So angular momentum of this about it will be, first think of it as a point particle moving like this, right? About this axis, I'm going to do it as two parts. Think of it as a point particle. So R cross V has to happen, right?
Yeah.
So R is basically radius. It is in J cap direction. Cross V is I cap, right?
Yeah.
Plus ICM omega I have to do, right? Correct?
Yeah.
Now notice that omega is like this, right? So if you curl your right hand fingers, K, it is coming out, no, K cap.
Yeah.
So this is also in K cap only, okay?
Okay.
So total angular momentum, this J cross I is minus K, right?
Yeah.
Minus MRVK plus ICM omega K, right? And ICM, this is a solid sphere, so that is 2 by 5 mr square, right? 2 by 5 mr square. See, notice that I'm not worried about the axis for this, right? I'm not worried about this axis, okay? The second term in the angular momentum is always ICM omega, right? The first term is the one that determines the axis, no?
Yeah, okay.
Remember this we had discussed when we were doing that L of a rotating and translating body.
Yeah.
So only the second term or the first or the MR cross V term has the axis information. The other part is just ICM omega always.
So we don't need to add MR square again over there, second term.
Yeah, obviously. Like this is, go back to the theory. If it was pure rotation, we saw it will be I omega, right? And I is the I about which it is rotating.
Yeah.
If it was pure translation, then it is just R cross V about whatever point, right? If it is rotation plus translation, no matter it might be rotating about this axis and whatever axis, right? It could be a random body rotating about this axis and moving also. Its center of mass could be like this, moving also. Then rotating about this. Then this motion L will be think about, if you have to calculate its I about this axis, then you have to think of it as a point particle about center of mass going like this. So R cross V about that, plus rotation only about ICM.
Yeah, okay.
Not about whatever axis it is rotating, just ICM omega.
Okay. Yeah.
That is important to know. You should go back to it and read it once more, because otherwise you will get a different term here. It will be wrong.
Yeah.
So this is minus MRV K plus this V, omega is V by R. So I'll put that here. So it becomes 2 by 5 MRV and minus MRV, right? So it is becoming, total is becoming minus 3 by 5 MRV, right?
Yeah.
K cap, right?
Yeah.
This is my L initial. Okay. Finally, you have to calculate angular momentum, linear speed at the moment when omega is 0, right? So again, same situation, I can only do angular momentum about this point, right? But if omega becomes 0, it becomes not purely rotating, it becomes not mix of two, it is just pure translation, right? Correct?
Yeah.
There is no omega only, so second term is not there, no? Right? But it will still be like this, only MR cross V. So it will be minus MR V dash, right? Now, at this moment, I don't know the speed. No.
Okay, yeah.
After some time, it is something else speed, right?
Correct, yeah.
So there, the angular momentum will be some MR V dash plus 0 here.
Okay, yeah.
Right? So minus MR V dash K cap should be equal to this, right? MR cancels, and V dash is coming 3V by 5.
Okay.
Right? Directly it is coming 3V by 5.
Yeah, that's the answer.
That is, see, if you understand how to write L, right? It is 2 steps. There's nothing to do in the question. It's 1 step here, 1 step here, right?
Yeah.
But you need to be able to write your L correctly. First of all, you need to be able to decide which point I have to conserve L. The point can only be the bottommost point, because only there the friction is not causing a torque, right?
Yeah.
And second step, when you write L for bottommost point, you have to notice that for that it is rotation plus translation, right? So I do it in 2 steps, like 10.19 section. Section 10.19, the derivation there, right? And that you think of it as a particle going, and when you think of it as a particle, obviously you have to write R vector from the axis about which you are measuring, right?
Yeah.
So R cross V will have information about where is your axis about which you are measuring L, right?
Yeah.
But plus ICM omega doesn't have any axis related stuff. It is always ICM omega.
Okay, yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So that second term is just pure rotation stuff, ICM omega. First term is the axis stuff. Also be careful about the direction. This J cross I was minus K. If you by mistake plus K, it will be totally wrong, right?
Yeah.
So it is minus K here. J cross I is minus K. And because, why was this plus K? Because it was like this rotation. So right hand rule, your thumb is coming out. So omega's direction is actually plus K.
Yeah.
Right? If it was clockwise like this, it would have been minus K here.
Minus K. Yeah.
Right? So this was initial, and final momentum was simply just this MR V dash, right?
Yeah.
It was minus K. So that I will equate to initial momentum and I'll get the answer. Part B, when slipping stops and pure rolling starts. So notice it was started off like this, right? And when slipping stops and pure rolling starts, it should be going at some V dash, but its omega should be like this, no?
Yeah.
Then only this point will be doing pure rolling, no?
Pure rolling.
So right now its omega initial was something weird, opposite of what it is supposed to be. And later it will be like this, right? So I have to see from this point to this point, what is the V dash and all, right? And this point pure rolling has started. Pure rolling started, right?
Yep.
So obviously here what should happen is V dash should be omega dash R, right? Here.
Yeah.
And here nothing like that is true. And here we already have L initial, no? About this point. See, from here to here, if you always take momentums about the bottom point, there is no torque only, no? Friction is not exerting any torque about bottom axis.
Yeah.
So therefore, angular momentum should be conserved if you take this axis and this axis. Again, same thing basically.
Yeah.
Angular momentum conservation about the bottom axis, right?
Hmm.
So we got minus mrv k cap plus we got 2 by 5 mrv k cap, right?
Hmm.
Earlier was minus 3 by 5 mrv k cap. This was L initial, right?
Yeah.
What is L final? Let's calculate that about this bottommost point, right?
Hmm.
Again, two steps. First step is R cross V, that is same only.
Yeah.
Minus MR V dash K cap, right?
Huh.
But now notice that this is like this, right?
Huh.
I omega, ICM omega will not be out of the plane, right? It is into the plane, right?
Yeah.
So it is minus 2 by 5 M R V dash K, right?
Hmm.
Why did I write V dash? Because it's actually ICM omega dash, but ICM is 2 by 5 mr square, and V dash must be V dash, omega dash must be V dash by R, right?
Yes, ma'am. Huh.
Because it has started pure rolling,
Hmm.
right? So therefore
Yeah.
now you can cancel and you can write minus this, right?
Hmm.
So L final is coming out to be minus 7 by 5 mr V dash, right?
Hmm.
K cap. And L initial should be equal to L final, so you'll get
Hmm.
3V by 7 is equal to V dash,
Okay, fine.
right?
Hmm.
But obviously, again, it will only work if you know how to apply angular momentum conservation, right?
Yeah.
So
Huh.
you need to be able to write these terms properly. And this is the fastest way to solve it,
Hmm.
because one step and one step, right?
Huh. Yeah.
But you need to be comfortable with it, and you need to know how to apply it. What is the sign? Everything matters. Minus matters, K matters, and all, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
The other way to do this question is without angular momentum conservation, but that is slightly long, but we can still see how to do it. V is equal to V. This, suppose we are doing just the first part, let's do. Okay. And later it stops, right?
Yeah.
So omega is 0 and it is going at some V dash. You have to find this, right?
Yeah.
So it's a straightforward question only. We know friction acts backward here because this point is trying to slide forward, right?
Yeah.
So friction acts backward. So let's see, force of friction is the only horizontal force. So acceleration of center of mass is F by M, right?
Yeah.
Correct. And force of friction causes a torque. So F into R is equal to I alpha, right? And the torque will be like this, right? Torque will be opposing the omega, no? So F into R is equal to I alpha. So I is 2 by 5 mr square. Alpha, R will cancel. So alpha is basically equal to 5F by 2 mr, no? 5F by 2 mr, right? This is my alpha, right?
Yeah.
Correct. This is my acceleration. Now, your omega has changed from V by R to 0, right? And alpha is this, right? So time taken will be change in omega by alpha, no? Basically, I'm saying omega final minus omega initial by alpha is equal to T, right?
Yeah.
Correct. It is a deceleration. It has to come down to 0, right? So V by R divided by 5F by 2 mr, right? This cancels. You get 2 mv by 5F, right? This is the time taken for omega to come down to 0.
0.
And in that much time, what is the velocity? V minus AT, right? F by M into this much time, right?
Yeah.
So C, M, F, V minus 2 by 5. So 3V by 5.
Okay. Yeah.
You understand? It's simple only. It is getting a decelerated by friction. Friction is reducing its V, and it is also reducing its omega. Because it is supposed to go be this side, right? So find the rate of reduction of omega, and omega is supposed to go down to 0, right? So you can find time taken to go down to 0 for omega, right? In that much time, velocity will change by how much? By this much, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Right. The second part of the question, see, even at this moment, this bottommost point is going like this, right? Even if omega is 0, it's still moving forward, sliding, right?
Yeah.
So eventually this sliding has to stop. Okay. Still friction is acting like this only. You understand? Even when it stops rotating,
Yeah.
friction is still backward, right?
Yeah.
So this ACM is still acting, this F is still acting, right? So it still wants to, now alpha will try to give it a omega like this, no? Right?
Yeah.
So finally it will start rotating in the proper direction, right? And finally your V dash will keep coming down, right?
Yeah.
And once it starts rotating now in this direction, your omega is actually increasing now, no? It's an acceleration in alpha, right?
Correct. Yeah.
You understand? So basically, finally, it will roll in the proper direction. Eventually, it will get enough omega, and V dash has come down by so much that V dash is equal to R omega dash, right?
Yeah.
And then pure rolling has started, then friction will stop, right?
Yeah. Okay.
You understand? It's slowing down, and omega is reversing direction from this side to this side, right? So I could have solved the last part of the question directly from here and say omega is V by R here, and this was V like this. Later, let's say it was omega dash and this was V dash, right? Correct.
Yeah.
So change in omega, right? Okay, I need those values. A was F by M, alpha was 5F by 2mr. Na? What was it?
Correct. This.
Alpha was 5F by 2mr. Great. So, so we get omega dash is equal to omega initial minus alpha t, right? So omega dash is something, omega initial is negative of V by R, no?
Yeah.
Initial is opposite direction, no? Oh, wait, 1 second. Actually, you don't do like this. Just say that final is positive, 5F by 2mr. Okay, actually, don't do it from the starting point. Do it from this point, right? The 0, right? At 0, its velocity was 3v by 5, no, for part A.
Yeah.
Right? Omega is 0. Now it is getting an acceleration of this much. From this point onwards, it will keep getting increasing omega, right? So let's say final omega dash was this. So time taken would have been omega dash by alpha, right? So that would have been omega dash by 5F by 2mr, right?
Yeah.
In that time, your velocity is still going down, right? So 3v by 5 minus acceleration F by m into time. Time is this, omega dash into 2mr by 5F, right? Is your final velocity, right? Final velocity, correct? So this final velocity should be equal to omega dash into r, no, for pure rolling.
Yeah.
Right? So this is my equation, okay? So F cancels, M cancels. You have 3v by 5 minus 2 omega dash r by 5, right? 2 omega dash r by 5 should be equal to omega dash r, right? So you get 7 by 5 omega dash r is equal to 3v by 5. 5 cancels. Omega dash is equal to 3v by 7r. So v dash is equal to 3v by 7.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand what I'm doing? No?
Yeah.
It's fairly simple. This force method is also simple only, but it's not as fast as angular momentum conservation.
Yeah.
Okay. 86 is also same. 86, I will just give you a hint and you can solve it yourself. Okay. There is a solid sphere rolling on a smooth horizontal surface. And what is happening is it is going to collide with a wall, right? Fixed smooth wall. It is going with a linear speed v. It is rolling. Surface is rough. Basically similar situation. And it will hit a fixed smooth wall. Okay.
Yeah.
So right now, if it is rolling, it is going with angular velocity omega also, right? Which is v by r. Right? Because it is pure rolling. Now, find the speed of the sphere after it has started pure rolling in the backward direction. So suppose this elastic collision happens here, right? So in elastic collision, if it hits a wall and all, smooth wall, so no friction and all here, right? Hits a wall will provide some impulsive force like this, and it should come back with the same linear velocity, no?
Yeah.
it after collision it gets same V, right?
V, huh?
But what you have to think is before collision it was also rotating, no? And what happens to the rotation part is what you have to think. Okay, so after collision, during the collision, notice that all forces are like this, normal forces, right? Since it is a smooth wall, there is no torque of friction on all here,
Yeah.
right? So collision is not going to have any torque, so it cannot change omega.
Okay, yeah.
You understand? Collision doesn't have any torque, it cannot change omega. So just after collision, it is going backward with V, but still rotating forward like it was before. And now the question is exactly same like 85. Find out how much time it will take or what will be its V dash when it starts pure rolling properly, right?
Yeah.
This is a rough surface, no? So eventually, now this point is not pure rolling now, right? It is going forward. So friction is acting backward, right?
Yeah.
This is now like 85, question number 85 exactly. Right?
Okay, yeah.
Right? So from this point to this point, pure rolling, it should be 3V/7, no? Because question 85 had 3V/7. Right?
Okay, yeah.
The question 85 also was opposite rotation and forward motion.
Forward,
right?
yeah.
And finally, it was forward motion with proper rolling, right?
Yeah.
And that was 3V/7, no? And it was also solid sphere, right?
Same thing, yeah.
So this will also be 3V/7.
Okay.
The only thing to notice here is that after hitting, since normal forces pass through the center and all, no friction is there, no torque is there. So you cannot change omega then during collision, right?
Okay, yeah.
Just reversal of direction of linear velocity happens.
Linear, okay.
Okay, so that is this. What you should do is look at your Allen book and all also a little bit and see if you are able to solve questions there. See if you are able to solve your Allen questions, objectives and all, right?
Okay, yeah.
Once you practice a little more, it should be fine, but pay close attention to 10.19 and the rolling part, right?
Yeah.
Whenever it is translation plus rotation, those parts, how to write kinetic energy, how to write angular momentum.
Yeah.
Those are the things that people are confused about. That's why this chapter is difficult. But if you are able to write them properly, then it's fine. There's no issue. So fine. Just one more, two more classes we can do where we discuss problems here. But otherwise, we are done with this. So we'll start off with new things after that.
Okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.